I stepped out of the dimly lit nightclub, the thumping bass still echoing in my ears. The night had been a blur of flashing lights, pounding music, and sultry glances. I had a few drinks too many, and my head was swimming. As I stumbled down the city streets, the cold night air slapped some sobriety back into me. I wasn't sure how I got here, but that was the story of my life lately, drifting aimlessly, seeking something I couldn't quite put my finger on. A neon sign buzzed above a rundown motel, casting an eerie glow on the cracked pavement. I decided to call it a night, or rather, a morning. The motel room was shabby, with a musty smell that clung to everything. I kicked off my shoes and collapsed onto the lumpy mattress. My thoughts were a chaotic mess, a jumble of regrets and desires that made it impossible to sleep. I reached for the bottle of bourbon on the nightstand and took a long swig, relishing the fiery burn. It was a temporary escape from the mess that was my life. As I lay there in the dim light, I couldn't help but wonder how I had ended up like this, adrift, lost, and alone. It was a far cry from the dreams I once had, the ambitions that had fueled me when I was younger. But now, the only thing that mattered was the next distraction, anything to numb the emptiness inside. I knew it was a cycle, a self-destructive one, but it was all I had. With the bourbon bottle still in hand, I closed my eyes and let the darkness of the room wash over me, hoping that sleep would finally come and grant me a brief respite from the reality I had created for myself. The morning sun filtered through the stained curtains, and I woke with a throbbing headache. My mouth felt like it was stuffed with cotton, and my body ached from the uncomfortable position I had slept in. I forced myself out of bed and stumbled into the cramped bathroom. The face that stared back at me in the cracked mirror was a stranger's. Bloodshot eyes, stubble-covered cheeks, and the beginnings of a beer gut. I didn't recognize the man I had become. I turned on the shower, letting the scalding water wash away the remnants of the night before. It was a feeble attempt at purification, but it was all I had. As I dressed in yesterday's clothes, I knew I needed to make a change. This life of perpetual numbness was leading nowhere, and I was running out of time. I ventured out into the unforgiving daylight, the city awakening with a cacophony of honking horns and hurried footsteps. I made my way to a nearby cafe, determined and make a plan. I ordered a black coffee and sat in a corner booth, watching the world go by. It was a diverse crowd, business people rushing to work, students huddled over textbooks, and tourists snapping photos of the city's landmarks. I reached for my phone and scrolled through my contacts, searching for someone, anyone, who might be able to offer a lifeline. But the list was a sad testament to my isolation: estranged family, old friends who had long given up on me, and a string of broken relationships. My coffee grew cold as I pondered my next move. I knew it wouldn't be easy, but I had to start somewhere. Perhaps there was a support group, a therapist, or a mentor who could help me find my way out of this darkness. As I left the cafe, the city's neon signs flickered to life once more, casting their enchanting glow over the streets. For the first time in a long while, I saw them not as beacons of escape, but as symbols of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of nights, there was always a chance for a new beginning. With that flicker of hope in my heart, I took a tentative step forward, determined to find my way out of the neon-lit maze I had been trapped in and towards a brighter future, one small, deliberate choice at a time.